Run that.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This story is based on the time when he kicked me out in the middle of a tornado. Okay, so for some people, you may know of or have heard of the tornadoes that happened in Oklahoma in 2013. The first one was like May 20th. It was around May 20th of 2013, and that tornado killed like 2,000 people, damaged like 300 houses. And after that, like 2 weeks later, there was another tornado, and it was recorded as the biggest tornado ever. And from that tornado, 9 people lost their lives. And that tornado bring other small tornadoes plus flash flood warning. And from those, another 14 people lost their lives. So I was in Oklahoma around that time because I had just graduated college like a few months earlier. I was there, I was working as a personal assistant for, maybe you've heard of John Jacobs' Next Generation Power Force. Those people who go around in churches and demonstrate like feats of strength. They'll rip like a phone book, they'll break bricks, stuff like that. I was the personal assistant for the owner and founder of those groups. So I was in Oklahoma at the time, and I was dating this guy. We dated for like 6 years. 6 years wasted, but that's another story. And so I was there when all the tornado stuff was going on. If you know about Oklahoma, Oklahoma is part of the tornado alley, so there's always tornadoes, like small ones, nothing major, but that year it was major. So around that time, no one's working because the whole state is under tornado watch. And so no one's working, everyone have free time, people hang out together, people group up. We have shelters which we go to. There was one at my college. It was in the basement. That's at Oklahoma Baptist. And then there was another tornado shelter. It was like a 5-minute walk from Oklahoma Baptist. It's at St. Greg's University. Yeah, it was at St. Greg's University. And some people could go there. So at the time, my ex, who I was dating at the time, he used to work, he was a coach, he was a track coach at St. Greg's University. So I would go with him to that shelter instead of with my friends, because I had friends at Oklahoma Baptist still. And instead of going there with them, I would go to St. Greg's with the guy I was dating at the time. So one day, we weren't at the shelter, we were at his apartment chilling. We're just there chilling, the rain is falling, there was flash flood warning going on, and we were there. We cooked, watched TV, eat, just there chilling. And it started to get late. I noticed it started to get late, and I was there, and he have this thing where he's a Christian, and I could never stay over. As soon as he hits a certain time, I have to leave. I could not stay over. And it would be like,
well, if you stay over, there'll be temptations, and I'm a Christian. And if you stay over, my parents gonna ask if you stay over, and I'm gonna have to tell them the truth. And if my parents know you stay over, I'll get in trouble.
yes, a grown man afraid of his parents. Everything, oh, I'm gonna get in trouble with my parents. We were not allowed to go to the movies. His parents don't believe in the movies. The movies are temptations. And if we go to the movies, he'll get in trouble with his parents. A grown man cannot go to the movies. And if he goes to the movies, we have to hide it, or he'll get in trouble with his parents. So I thought he was loosening up, because 8 o'clock, he said nothing. 9 o'clock, nothing. 10 o'clock, nothing. So when he when it started getting later, and I'm like, I was scared at that. I was really scared because there was a lot of flooding going on. All we're doing is watching the Weather Channel, just looking at everything going on, and it was really dangerous. Like a lot of people lost their lives, their homes, everything. It was all bad. People were trapped in a movie theater. It was just crazy. It was rain, lightning, everything. It was really, really bad. A lot of people were scared. And yeah, so I was scared and it was late. So I'm like, surely this is a night I'm gonna stay over. 11 o'clock, he said nothing. So I started pretend like I'm sleeping. I'm like, okay, if I if I'm sleeping, maybe you won't wake me up, because I was scared. I was scared to go home. I did not want to be out late in that weather. I didn't want to be out in that weather, period. But to be out there that late in that weather, I absolutely didn't want that. Plus, I didn't want to be in the tornado by myself. I didn't want to go home. I want to be around company when all this is going on, because I've never experienced anything as bad. And I mean, I'm from a whole other country. I'm not with family, or so I wanted to be around people I'm comfortable when this disaster is happening. So yeah, I started pretend as if I'm sleeping, and um, and he was like 12 o'clock, nothing. I'm like, yeah, surely I'm staying, and so it was like after 12, he started shaking me.
You have to go home. You have to go home.
I'm like, what? It's dangerous out there. What you mean? He was like,
well, you can't stay here. You can't stay here. You have to go home. If you stay here, I'm gonna get in trouble with my parents.
and I'm like, I can't go home in this weather. It's too dangerous. It's too late. It's dark. There's flooding. We can't drive. There's water everywhere. And to get home, it was like a 10-minute drive from his apartment to where I was staying. It was like a 10-minute drive, and there's a bridge that he would have to go underneath. And that bridge, it floods easily. So I know for sure that we couldn't get by that bridge. And he was like,
well, we're gonna find a way. Some way, somehow, you will have to go home. I don't care. I don't care.
I'm like, you're really gonna put my life in jeopardy, so I can't stay here. He's like,
if you stay here, I'm gonna get in trouble with my mom. If you stay here, I'm gonna get in trouble with my mom. You can't stay here.
His parents live in a whole other state. His parents live in Minnesota. We were in Oklahoma. He's from Minnesota. His parents live in Minnesota. How are they gonna know? So I asked him, I'm like, how are they gonna know that I stay here? And it's not like I was trying to sleep in his bed or something. I could sleep on the couch, since you're against that. We can't be under the same roof unless he's married and all that stuff. Temptation, he's a Christian. It was a lot of stuff. Going on. And he was like,
well, they're gonna ask. My mom is gonna ask, and I'm gonna tell her the truth. I can't lie to my mom.
And I have to point this out. Whenever his parents would be around, it would get really, really nervous, just in case I may slip up and say, oh, we went to the movies, because parents always asking questions. And we used to go to the movies sometimes, even though his parents were against it. But he really loved going to the movies. So we go to the movies, and he gets really, really, really nervous when his parents come around, because they'll ask, so what did you guys do? And you think I'm gonna slip up and say, well, we went to the movies and we saw such and such. You get really, really, as if he was gonna get a scolding. He's like, remember, don't mention anything about movies. Don't mention that we went to Bricktown. Don't mention we went such and such places. We go to the mall. We go to the mall or anything. Don't mention anything. So I used to hate being around them, because I don't know what to say. I could say I eat freaking spaghetti, and they'll take offense to it. I could say I hang out with my friends and they take offense to it. Like I could not say anything, stuff. So yeah, they would judge. He'll get in trouble. I don't know if he gets a spanking or what, but he gotta ask permission for every single thing. As a grown man, he had to ask permission for every single thing, and he was not happy about that. But it was a baby, I guess. I don't know what I was doing. I don't know why it lasted for 6 years. Blame me, not him, because what was I doing? But yeah, back to the story. So yeah, all that was happening, and he was getting real mad, saying, "I have to go home." We were arguing, but I mean, he wasn't budging. I had to go home. Like, okay, whatever. So it was raining. It was terrible. It was windy. It was flooding. We got in his old car, because his grandfather handed it down to him, and it was old. His grandfather passed away, and he inherited the car, and it was old. It was old. Like the car would stop sometimes. The car is not for flood. The car is not for flood or anything like that. It was a dry weather car, and you have to be really careful. But he was determined. He was determined to take me home in the tornado. He was determined to take me home in the tornado, no matter what may happen to us. He don't care. It's safer for him to take me home in the tornado than for me to stay the night. So, I got my stuff, got in the car. Let me give you a quick info on this part. He wore contacts, like he was legally blind, basically. Yeah, at nighttime, he would take his contacts out, and he have some glasses. He would put them on so that he could see, or he cannot see at all. Like he cannot see, and so it was night. So he already had his contacts out. So he picked up his glasses and he put them on. So we got in the car. He started driving, and he could not see. He's like,
I can't see.
and I'm like, where are we going then? If you can't see, you should not be driving. And it was like, you're
Going home, you can't stay here, you can't stay here, you can't spend the night. We're not married, you can't spend the night.
so we got in the car, started driving. He can't see, and I'm scared, and I'm shaking, like I'm next to crying right now because I'm scared. A lot of people passed away. It was really, really bad. It was all over the news. Some people may remember this. Some people may have heard about it. Some people may have experienced it. But it was really, really bad. But yeah, he was determined to take me home. So we got to the bridge, and it was flooded. It was flooded. We couldn't get through. I'm like, see, I told you, like, there's no way. The road is blocked. We cannot get home. You cannot take me home. I was like,
I'll find a way. I'll find a way. You're going home tonight. You're going home. You're not staying. You're going home.
So, turned the car around. He started to find different routes, and he decided to take the highway. The short way to where I was staying was like 10 minutes. The road he found was an additional 20 minutes. So we would drive around 30 minutes to get there. And we had to go really, really slow. And he was driving. We cannot see. I couldn't see, and he for sure could not see. And I was shaking, and I was so mad. And he was like driving. He was like, he was mad. So he was like,
I can't see. I can't see.
I'm like, then where are you going? Where are you going? It was like,
you have to go home. You can't stay here. You can't stay here.
And we were driving, and we're going through waters. It took forever, and we had to drive really, really, really slow. And we finally got to where I was staying. And yeah, he dropped me off, and I went inside. I didn't text him or anything if he made it home safe. I was so mad. I got inside and I started crying, like, really, like, what am I doing? What am I doing? And you guys, did you think I break up with him? I did not. I was a yamed. I did not break up with him. I stayed. I stayed. I was mad for a few days. I was so mad. I told my friends about it and they were like, what? Kelly, I idiot. Left him, my idiot boy that and stuff. And yeah. That's the time he kicked me out in the middle of a tornado. He kicked me out in the middle of a tornado and I was so scared. The next day, he didn't say anything to me. I didn't say anything to him. Few days passed, nothing. We didn't speak for a few days. He was hanging out with friends and stuff. And I think it was like a week later, he texted me wanting to hang out and stuff. And like, yeah, man, guess what I did? I was like, okay, come pick me up. But yeah, and that is just one of the many crazy story times, the crazy antics. I have a lot of stories about him, and I guess I'll name him in the next story time. But for now, yeah, just know he's the ex who kicked me out in the middle of the tornado because he would get in trouble if his mom knew I spent the night. So it was safer for him to take me home in the tornado than for me to stay there. So that's the end of my story. I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to click the subscription button, like it, click the notification button, and bye y'all.